Welcome back. This is part two to I Apologize. I have two more segments. You must get this into your spirit. How do we relate to one another when our tribal interactions and how we prepared our traditional foods were erased from our memory? How do we heal as a collective culture when our history has been altered, our present deteriorated, and our future derailed upon a path that led to human indecency and hundreds of years of bondage? How do you heal from having your bloodline tainted and the future of the youth hung on the end of the rope? What did we genetically inherit from the rape and mixture of incessant genes, warped ideologies, and a forced culture of another heritage that sees you as 1/3 property, 1/3 beast, and 1/3 person? In our ugly past, sisters, men failed to protect you from our oppressors, whom have become our historical enemies, which is apparent in our current presidency and the Black Lives Matter movement. Today, we fail to protect you from the major pathologies in society. We fail to protect you from single parenthood, from the horrors, regrets, and nightmares of abortion. We fail to protect you from the overwhelming stress and heavy burdens of paying the bills while struggling daily to keep a roof over both your head and our children, and you receive no assistance. I apologize. I'm terribly remorseful for forcing you to get public assistance, which allows strangers to become interchangeable with your personal business, compelling you to beg for hospitalization and food stamps, when as a man I should be providing for you and my children. I apologize for not fighting for your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual safety. No woman should ever have to endure being sexually forced to give away what is both precious and priceless to thieves of the temple, those who wishes to steal a woman's riches by severely wounding her spirit and by dimming the light of courage and her purpose. I apologize for allowing our children to be abducted from their home and safe haven and to be sold and given to the master's next of kin. Today, we are still allowing strangers through children's services, foster care, juvenile detention centers, prison, and gangs to take our children from their home. Sisters, you deserve more than this. I know personally that it's a lot to overcome and to forgive me for. Yet, and still, I'm asking you to forgive me. I'm asking you to forgive us as Black men collectively. In order for us to grow and overcome, sisters, we need you. I understand it'll take time, trust, and renewed faith. Yet, if we do not love one another and welcome the opportunity to be loved in return, who else would uplift us in the spirit of negritude? How can we return to greatness whereas when we were pyramid builders, builders of civilization, innovators, scientists, pharaohs, kings, queens, warriors, mathematicians, inventors, high priests, tribal chiefs? I know that it seems that things are getting worse instead of better. I know that men are filling up these modern day plantations called penitentiaries. We're unemployed in record number. We turn from our cultural women to other cultures looking for love. We have turned to unnatural relationships for companionship. We are on drugs and alcohol and unprecedented addictions. We are rapidly dying in the streets and gang violence and black on black crime. But we need you women as our nurses. We suffer from high blood pressure, heart attacks, diabetes, obesity, and sexually transmitted diseases. Will you give us your legal advice, your wise counsel, your physical therapy, your caregiving, your menu of healthy organic foods, and your support as we go into being what you need? In retrospect, before the vile, demoralizing, ostracizing, demonizing, discriminatory practice that affixed itself to us in slavery and within the pride-stripping labor of racial segregation, when we as men should have fought at every turn until our oppressors realize that the war against us is too costly to fight, and therefore they will either retreat from acts of hatred and racism and treat blacks as equal beings, or fight to the death. I apologize for not systemically rebelling against the practices of dehumanizing us by refusing to work the fields, refusing to break wild horses, refusing to build homes we didn't live in, refusing to be butchers and blacksmiths and stagecoach drivers, refusing to allow a woman to be midwives, to breastfeed babies that were not theirs, by refusing to be cooks and maids and menders and seamstresses. We should have turned on our owners with solidarity and unity, with the mentality that either we all perish together or together we rise up from the conditions of inhumane treatment with victory and the experience to overcome against all odds. What good is life if life is defined as living apart from our God-given freedom, apart from family, from love, and away from our creative purpose? Sisters, you have excelled at being grandmothers, mothers, and wives. Today, I need you to allow the black men to be men. Don't enable me by accepting me into your heart, home, or into your bed without me being responsible as a man. Don't pay my bills. Don't accept intimate partner violence. Don't accept cheating and being exposed to life-threatening diseases. Don't accept inexcusable weaknesses. If I cannot be a man for a real woman, then send me away to be a boy for a girl somewhere playing house. Don't accept me lying and using unwarranted excuses about why I'm unemployed, why I'm not in school or learning a trade, or why I'm living with my parents. Don't accept me using drugs to cop out on life or to cope with everyday realities. Don't accept me not being a provider. If a man doesn't have personal goals, resources, and a viable plan, where can he lead you? What values and work ethics can he instill into your children? Sisters, we need you. Stay tuned for part 3.